Alright, here we got like a 2001 Yamaha TW200 Trailways 200. So it's a pretty decent sized battery in it. I had just taken off the positive and negative and positive, I should say. So it's strapped. Just have to pop the seat off. There's two bolts underneath here. You can see where they are. You come up from underneath, take them two bolts out, pop the seat off, you got your battery. Anyway, so absolute joke trying to find this battery. I mean, other than online, you're not gonna find it at Walmart, you're not gonna find it at Auto Part, you're not gonna find it. You find it online, slim selection, whatever. But as you can see here, the model that they call for is a YB7C-A. Uncommon size. You can find some other batteries that will fit in there. It's fine. But I figured if I wasn't going to go with the standard size, a very thick battery, some of them weren't quite as thick. There were quite a few that were had the length and pretty much the height, but weren't nearly as thick. So I thought, if I'm not going to go with a standard size battery, I'm going to go with a real battery, something like that you would expect to find in a motorcycle in 2020. And went to the interwebs, hooked up on I think it was Amazon eventually. A couple of good decent reviews, and decided to go with a lithium battery. I used it in my KTMs and some other machines I got. At the lithium, excellent cold cranking amps. I think it's there's 150. I think it's super light. I mean, compared to this old ox right here, it's very light. Another reason I like this was, since I don't ride this particular trail bike much in the winter time, and it's kind of a bitch to get the battery out in the way. Two bolts, but nonetheless, it's not convenient. So I decided to get a battery like this, which has two terminals. Obviously, I can run to the bike, and then the other two terminals, I will connect the trickle charger, which I have a Mega Booster to run and charge lithium batteries. So therefore, it's safe. Make sure that the charger that you use is safe to use on a lithium battery. It understands it. I'm thinking it has to be a smart charger to do that. But I have that, and now I have. I actually bought an extra one of these for like $8 or whatever. But this one came in the package with this battery. And what else you see here is hardware. Okay, these little blocks go inside here. In there, the blocks do, and then obviously when you screw down your leads, there's threads under them. So, but this is really nice. I mean, accessories, I have USB on this bike, and another thing for my Garmin GPS that I hook up, and that's gonna be nice having an extra set of leads on here. Little extra power, cranking power, also a little more resilient for colder weather than these wet cells are. Don't have to worry about acid and all that. One more word, if you are buying and you're thinking of going something cheaper like this, the old standard or conventional, they're starting to ship a lot of these out and without any acid in it. What the hell good is a battery without the acid? And you go get shot for the acid. So if you're buying online, make sure you read the fine print. I've seen several people came across that, and I'd have been absolutely ticked if I waited for a battery to get shipped and it came in, it was unusable because there was no acid. Paying an extra, $50 and getting something like this that might last you a year or two or three or four more, might be worth it. Super light too, if weight's worth anything to you. I mean, I don't really care. Sometimes I got 30 pounds in my backpack, so sometimes I go riding after I eat, so whatever. But this thing's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to get in on what the reset button is. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll read up on that. But hey, man, it's super light. It's small. I'm gonna put some foam in the box. As you can see, the box inside of here, I'm gonna clean it up a little bit and put these foam pads in so it has it's not in there bouncing around. But there it is. I'll go ahead and install this. There's no sense in videoing that. I'm just using my phone here to do this anyway. So I just wanted to show you the size difference of the batteries, and obviously a weight difference. It's huge, huge difference. In weight, and a very, very noticeable size difference there. Okay, let's go this way. Definitely not as deep either. So, and obviously an advantage having a couple extra terminals to hook up any accessories, and obviously for the tender that you might want to return. All right, so they give you these foam pads. There's a white paper you pull off, and it's adhesive under. They give you some thick ones. I already took the sticker off that. And they gave you some that aren't quite as thick, and then some even thinner. Okay, so I decided, since the thick ones are just about the difference of the height of these batteries, that I'm gonna put those in the bottom. So I'm gonna just stick those down, adhesive side down. I cleaned it up a little. They're gonna go down the bottom. The medium thick ones I put against the front of the box. I get another one here. Okay, so I put, like I said, those medium ones here in the front of the box, and the thickest ones in the bottom. Anybody with a TW, you're about to see how that fits. Don't forget the hot or the positive cables over there on the throttle side of the bike. That's how you want that battery set in there. There's still some wiggle here. Okay. This strap's gonna hold it down, but I think to prevent the wiggle front and back, I'm going to put some small pads in the back here. Okay. Back at the back of the battery, down in there, I'm gonna put those thinnest pads, maybe one or two, maybe one down this side, one down this side, just to reduce any vibration, have it move around. All right, let's check it out. We got thin pads in the back, the thickest one's down in the bottom, and then in the front of the box, we got the medium ones, I guess you could say. Let's see how this goes in. Okay. Oh, yeah, it does fit. Okay. Well, that's pretty friggin' snug. That's pretty snug. Now, left and right, I guess I could put something in there for the left and right, but man, I don't think that's gonna be necessary, because once this cable's on, the other cable's on, the straps over it. Yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere. I mean, right now I can't really move it at all. It is wedged in there between those pads, but I think we're just gonna let it like that. Hook the cables up. I think we're good. Snug. All right, so your battery terminal on these TWs, you can see kind of how it comes along. To fit it down in here, if you fit it in here, you're looking at a misaligned hole. So I think I'm just going to kind of bend this down so that this barrel piece right here fits on top of this plastic, because I have a little extra room here than what we did with the old battery, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. This is going to be a little bent. So here you can see that I had bent this a little bit. So this piece is sitting on top of the plastic here. This metal is, but it's fine, it's secure. I'll see if I can get this boot over top of that. I think I can. All right, so I got this wiring harness out. You can see that reset, threaded reset hole. Like I said, it came with this piggy tail, which I ran out here by the helmet lock. There's a button here, a reset button, in case you have to reset the battery. Being lithium and all smarty smart, you know, if you have a situation where you have to reset it, relearn it. But there's a third. There's your positive, you have your negative, and then you have your third terminal, which this one goes in here, and they supply a little screw to go in there. So I'm gonna hook that up. Found out what that was. It says it right here. Okay. Battery management system fault mode, blah blah blah. So if you hit that little button, then you will be able to reset the smart battery if need be. All right, so here we are. The battery's pretty much in here. Again, I chose to just run this triple charger connector down here by the helmet, the worthless helmet lock nobody ever uses. I may zip tie it to it, as I don't. I may push this up underneath the plastic, I don't know, but that's the location of it. Pretty much out of the way. Try to have the frame protect it and this mechanism protect it. Okay, enough of that. Just simply ran it, slid it in between this plastic. I didn't take the plastic off, ran it right up over the frame here. The standard negative battery connector I put on the front, as you can see, I turned it this way so that the big metal pieces on the back, once again, bent it. It's bent a little bit. You can see those blocks you put inside. They're nice full-size blocks. You don't have to play that little trick with a screwdriver like UEFA and all those other battery manufacturers do to you. They freaking mess with your freaking head so bad. Anyhow, the negatives there. Circled the smart reset wire up around. I was able to get the cover on that standard positive wire on the front. That was bent a little bit too. Don't forget that, right? So, overall, I'm gonna try to put the seat on this thing and see if there's any pressure. No, I don't think we'll see any pressure from this wire right here. If so, I will take it up to the front here, run it underneath this bar. That's fine. But for some reason, I think I'm seeing pressure from the seat here, and then once again down here. Of course, you don't want that seat riding on that wire, so I mean, if there's a lot of pressure there, I'll run it underneath. Not a big deal. Let's see how this goes. All right, this seat just went on there so nice and easy, and there's no pressure. It slid right in, so we're gonna let that go above the frame. We're gonna let that wire right above the frame because there's no way that there's anything even touching that wire. It's fine. It'll be totally fine. So the battery tender smart lithium here worked great. Here's the part number that I put in this Yamaha TW200. Got into it here. Got the seat and everything back on. Seems to be no problem turning over. It's fine. So when